Here we are at the source of Wall Spring, the Florida Aquifer. Florida is limestone, which dissolves in acidic water. So underneath Florida's surface, we have an aquifer, an underground reservoir, which is full of water. The water pours out of this, causes a spring, and flows to the bayou, which eventually gets to the Gulf. This spring water is 72 degrees, the same as all springs in Florida. So Florida has an extensive aquifer system, and it's built on dissolvable limestone. That limestone topography is what we call karst, K-A-R-S-T. So Florida has what we call a karst topography. Now this water is very, very clear. It's cool, so it does not have a lot of plankton in it. Also, it is filtered because it's flowing through the aquifer, so it's limestone and sand filtered. So this is very clear water, 72 degrees. It comes out, the fresh water, which is less dense than the salt water, the fresh water sits on top of the salt water in the aquifer. So the very bottom of an aquifer would be salty water. Sitting on top of it is the fresh water. So this fresh water is seeping out and flowing to eventually the Gulf. You saw a fish jump there, that's mullet. We have a mix of both fresh and saltwater fish here. The freshwater fish, obviously, because you have fresh water pouring from the aquifer. The saltwater fish, because when it hits the bayou, the tidal pressure pushes salt water in as well as storms. So you do have access, and you get what we call brackish water, so technically it's an estuary. Very fresh toward the head and saltier the closer you get to the salt water where it empties. So this is the source of Wall Springs. It was owned by a family called Davis, and it was called Wall Health Springs, and people used to come here to bathe in the water.